Hello and welcome to all you Aquarians. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for August for 2016. Now there are three things that I want to mention here. As I've been doing these videos for years, for some years now, I've always integrated a fixed star when I thought it was important, and I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to have a look at some energies in your 8th house, which are very, very positive. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about a bit about Antition, because I want to not only give you these monthly forecasts, I also know that a lot of people learn astrology through looking at monthly horoscopes of astrologers. So let's start with the more complicated stuff that is going on in your 11th house. So Mars and Saturn are there for the whole month. And this is not new, because in March, April, May, there was already this energy going on in your 11th house of aspirations and friends, your hope for the future, your objectives for the future. But friends as well, connections, your social circle. Now, Mars and Saturn are going to come together at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, where a fixed star called Antares is there. And on a personal level, so when you use that in horary astrology, for instance, this is about endings. And of course, if you use that on a more collective level, it means more than that. But these are individual horoscopes here. So, of course, endings are always new beginnings. Of course, it doesn't have to be negative at all, because endings, I know a lot of people think, oh, yeah. Am I going to end friendships? Am I going to end whatever? Could be the case, but with that Mars and this Saturn, this is very concentrated energy. And this is very harsh energy. So I'm going to explain how you can use it at its best, because I'm not going to spend time explaining worst case scenarios here, because that's not going to help you going forwards, you know. We all know, or a lot of you out there who know a bit about astrology know that Mars and Saturn together is irritation. It's irritation, frustration, it's anger. It's trying to push forwards and it's not going forwards and all of that. But how can you use that energy in a positive way? Well, it can mean that you establish a very serious, maybe a male friendship because it's with Mars, a very serious friendship with someone that is very committing, that is bringing you to a new level. You know, that kind of special friend actually. That is the positive side of Mars and Saturn conjuncting. So Saturn wants to commit. It wants to discipline you, and it wants to master. Master what? Mars, which is your drive, your energy. So it wants to master your actions, your connection with a friend. So it wants it to be as true as possible. No nonsense going on there. With the Neptune squaring up to that, and still eclipses are going to happen as well, triggering that, but that's for September. But this is, if you have been struggling with some friends, or there is something that was not easy to do, you can manage to fix this. That's basically it with the Mars and the Saturn. If you take your time, if you can master your ego, if you're not going to fall into ego struggles, basically, and if you can really be mature. So mature friendships, that's the best thing. I've seen it quite a lot with people with Mars and Saturn in the 11th house. They were developing a very mature friendship that's gonna last forever. You know, that's the good side of the Mars and Saturn, and it's best that we focus on the good side, right? I mean, you can read the papers to see the bad side of that energy, but it's better to focus on what is as positive as possible. So that's the good side. The same with wishes and dreams for the future. It's not the time now for Aquarians to have like 10 different dreams. Especially not. I know Sagittarius is a sign that likes that. It's a bit scattered. But now it's not a time. Saturn is asking you to master just maybe one dream and make that happen, and not taking a shortcut, just planning strategically, little by little, baby step, and then you can accomplish a lot that you will benefit from for a long time. So you can look at it as you want, but if you if you look at it as concentrated energy, mastering, hard work to make one dream come true is way better than to you know, bet on different horses. Sometimes that's a good time to do that as well, but not now. So having said that, what about your 8th house? Your 8th house is in Virgo, and there a lot of energy is coming into that 8th house. The 8th house is the house of transformation. It's the house of the negative side is fears, imaginative fears, and the positive side is courage and strength and developing psychological strength. That sign of Scorpio, that is again a very mature sign at its best. And you've got all these positive planets going on there. Venus entering there and Mercury. So Venus, values. You could get a gift, especially the last week of the month with Venus, Jupiter conjunct. I've seen that quite often. That people can get a gift, but that unconsciously they didn't know that they longed for it so much. So you can expect a gift the last week of August, because Venus, Jupiter conjunct, and they're not triggered by Saturn or Neptune. So it's very nice energy for psychological growth. Also the last week of August. So all these nice energies can give you a bit of a soothing if there was a bit of anxiety for some reason, because these are all gentle energies. There can be an inheritance as well with Venus and Jupiter in the 8th house. Not for all of you, of course, but it can be. And or insurances that paying you out for no reason. That's a bit of a ideology maybe, but it could be the case. I've seen that happening. Because the 8th house is also resources that are not brought that you're not working for yourself. That are coming from others. So, but of course, we still have Saturn-Neptune square. There's still insecurity going on up until the end of September. And Saturn-Neptune is like, yeah, it's on. I know this is going to happen. This is fantastic. And the next week you think, it's never going to happen. That's the Saturn-Neptune. This is still on in your 8th house. So in the house of transformation, in the house of intimacy as well. So there could be still a bit insecurity about, yeah, I'm totally open. Then, no, I'm going to close up again. So if that is the case, this is going to solve itself around September, because you're going to have eclipses there. So things are going to get clear anyway. But be hopeful and be realistic at the same time. That's the best thing that you can do. And last but not least, Antition. What is this? There's a lot of planets in Virgo, as I said, and they're going to trigger Uranus in Aries. Now, Virgos and Aries, they have a lot in common behind the scenes, and they get along quite well, actually. And why is that? Because you could think a Virgo and an Aries, what do they have in common? Actually, I'm a Virgo, Sun in Virgo with Moon in Aries, but and I get along very well with Aries people. But why is that? Because under the surface, they understand each other. They understand each other, and the thing is that Antition is a bit like this. A sign is divided into 30 degrees, right? So if you have entering a Virgo planet on 1 degree Virgo, you divide 30 degrees minus 1, which is 29, and that gives you the Antition point of 29 degrees of Aries. So all these planets that are entering that 8th house of yours, of Virgo, the Venus, the Mercury, and so on, they are all going to pass through the 7th degree of Virgo, which is 30 degrees minus 7 is 23, which is triggering Uranus in Aries, which is your 3rd house. So what is it? It's a positive energy. So this is a positive connection under the surface going on between your mind, which is Uranus in the 3rd house. New ideas, new conversations, new environment, new connections with people. But also with that gifts of others, value that other people give to you, that 8th house, money that other people give you, or value in general. Could be emotional support, psychological support. Your transformation that you are going through is making huge shifts in your thinking process. So this is something very positive that is going on behind the scenes. So a lot is going on this month for you Aquarians, and it's colored, it's multifaceted this month. That's why I like that so much. There's a bit of everything in it. Enjoy it. I wish you a very good month. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next month. Bye bye.